Hey beautiful, good to see you girl. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm super stoked. I got the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk Palette to check out today. So of course, you know I love me some Huda Beauty. The rose gold palette right here has been my favorite palette of like the entire year basically. But she came out with a new one. And this is it. So today we are going to be kind of checking out like not only the shades that are in here, but we are going to compare them to the rose gold palette a little bit, do some swatches, and hopefully a quick tutorial to kind of get a little fun test run in. So first up, she's got a nice shiny purple box, and I'm loving it. I love me some purple, obviously. And on the back, it just kind of gives a little product description up here. Looks like it is indeed in a couple of different languages. And then down here, girl, look at all these ingredients. Just a quick skimming through it. I don't think this is in more than one language, so that is a lot of ingredients if you ask me, but hey, if it works and it's safe, girl, I'm good with it. So checking out the palette itself, oh my gosh, this is so pretty. It's kind of like the old palettes box. It's got like the shiny eyeshadow on there, and she's got this little crown thing going on. I love that. And yeah, it's definitely different right off the bat because the old one had a little plastic see-through window on there. So opening her up, check this out. All right, I know there's a big shiny mirror coming your way, but look at this. Right off the bat, there's a pretty little Huda Beauty eyes right there. And yeah, just flip her over. That is that. And I thought that was a nice little touch. Like pretty much like all of her boxes, like if it's a highlighter palette, it shows like the cheeks. If it's a eyeshadow palette, it's got like the shiny eyes. So I really thought that that was like a nice decorative touch to her products. Now cracking the palette open, obviously this one does come with a nice big mirror, and it says Huda Beauty down at the bottom. Can't really see the beauty part of it there, but it's there. And of course this is the same size palette as the rose gold, and it's got the same amount of eyeshadows. We've got 18 shades in a range of textures from like shimmers and mattes. Got a couple of duochromes in there, and right here, this pretty lady is a pressed glitter. Now, I don't usually work with pressed glitters too often, but girl, we're gonna change that. I want to step my game up here, and I want to get used to some pressed glitters because they are so pretty. And girl, if there's one thing that I love in life, it is glitter. Now, unlike most of my review videos, this is absolutely a true first impressions. Girl, look how pretty that is and clean. I ain't even swatched her, and in fact, I only opened it up yesterday to show my Snapchat fam what I got. So I really just wanted to give you like a true first impressions on this one today, and I was so excited. It was so hard not to swatch it yesterday, girl. So I do like that they included like a couple more like cooler toned shades in the palette, and but of course, as you know, I'm a huge fan of color, so I'm just this whole side I'm feeling it, girl. Really quickly comparing the sisters side by side, girl, this one is definitely by far more of a bold and brightly colored palette, and this one is definitely aimed at being a little bit more toned down and neutral. Though I feel like these, like the super metallic shades in this palette are definitely like super bright and beautiful on the lid. They're definitely aimed more at everyday looks. And up here, as you can see, I feel like this one is leaning more towards the like brighter warm tones and like some beautiful purples in there. Now this one comes with, I believe, 3 really pretty duochromes, and a couple of these are absolutely just, the duochromes are super bright and shiny. It's killing me, girl. Now, I do see a couple of similarities, like we do have like a couple of lighter shades in here and like a gray, and there's a little bit more of a gray and a couple of lighter shades up here. And this one it doesn't look as bright as it does to me, but this one and this orange up here and kind of this one as well are somewhat similar. Now I know what you're thinking, there's a red here and a red here, but the red up here is aiming towards, like, it's leaning more towards the brownish red, like a rusty red, if you will, and while down here we've got more of the pinky shades. So there definitely is a difference, and the only thing that I'm not super digging about this palette is that they've also included Angelic in this one, and it is also in the Rose Gold palette. Now, it's one of the shades that unfortunately I don't use very often, but I can see why they added it to this palette. It really lends like a little bit of girly pinkness to it, so I'm still digging it. Right now, we should do us some swatches because I'm about to die if we don't. And as for the swatches, girl, you know I put all three of the duochromes on here, so we will just start there. Down here, this one is Retrograde, and it's more of like a brownish purple shade with like a green-blue shine back to it. This one is Twilight. This one I was like so attracted to right off the bat, just in the pan. It is just, oh, so gorgeous. And this is more of like a bright purple slash lilac shade, but it's got like a blue shine back to it. Now this one surprised me. This is Celestial, and in the pan it literally looks like your average like honey brown, maybe heading towards the copper side of colors, and actually it comes off like a really pretty gold color, but then it's like pink. Ugh, so pretty. Now this is the pressed glitter, and actually I'm fairly impressed with it. It is a little patchy on the swatch, but again, it is glitter, and you have to kind of be careful with how you're working with it. It does have a little bit of a learning curve to it, so don't be too discouraged when this is a little wonky. Now, this is the royal shade, and it's a really pretty like darker deep royal purple, and I threw the two like really bold mattes that I was super interested in. This is the saffron shade. That's that like rusty red color that I was talking about. And right here, of course, is Amethyst. Now this is a matte for sure, but it's got a little bit of glitter to it. Now it doesn't show up like too terribly, so I wouldn't be too concerned with the glitter aspect of it, but I think it kind of lends a little something to the palette, so I am digging those. And now we are going to move on. I'm going to throw on some of my current favorite Shadow Insurance Candlelight Primer by Too Faced and get some translucent powder up there, and we will get started on the tutorial. Alright, gorgeous, since I decided to set my primer with a translucent setting powder, we're going to skip the super light shade, and I'm going to go in with Eden as my first transition color in my crease to brow bone area. And we're just going to see how she does. I'm going to go in really gently because I was checking out like some of the tutorials and reviews on this palette, and it looks like some of these shades may have like a good bit of kickback, so we are just going to err on the side of caution and go in really easily. And it looks like it already does have just a little bit, but it's not too bad. So let's see how these perform on the eye. I'm just going to throw her all on up there. I'm not going to go too high, but I do want to get a good bit of color a little up higher so I can pull the darker and brighter shades up top a little bit more and do a nice cut crease. There we go. I'm obviously dying to try out this purple matte here. We are going to go in with that next. Of course, we aren't going to be taking it up as high as that peachy coral shade, but I do think that that shade did go on very nicely for a lighter color. And oh yeah, not too much kickback on this purple, by the way. And it's coming up a little light, so let's see how she goes on. Just going to use my favorite blending brush, of course, and do some windshield wiper movements here. Oh yeah, look at that. She's going on nicely. I'm digging it so far. Alright, lovely. It looks like it is a very pretty purple shade. However, I was a little surprised that out of all the colors in the palette, I didn't expect that one to need much building, but it did. It took a couple of good swipes up there. So otherwise, it's a really pretty color and I am digging it. Now we are going to go in with saffron in my crease. I'm not sure how this is going to work out because I'm going from purple to red, but we're gonna see, girl, we're gonna see. So I'm gonna take like a smaller blending brush and just throw her on in there before we move on to cutting the crease. Oh, that one came up nice, no problem. A little bit of kickback, but not too bad. And, ooh, you know what? This was a good move. Right off the bat, it looks like it's just deepening that purple shade, so I'm happy. I am glad that we made this decision together. I'm going to do a cut crease today, and we are going to do a full cut crease, and I am using the Instant Age Rewind Eraser for Dark Circles by Maybelline. I love this one for cutting my crease. It is a perfect shade for kind of brightening underneath to make those shadows really pop on your lid. And I'm just going to take my favorite little detail brush here and throw some of that on and get going. Right, gorgeous. Now that my concealer is almost dry, we are going to do things a little bit differently today. So instead of just going in with one of these duochromes, you know I'm going in with this one, I'm actually going to throw this one, this is Royal, a beautiful dark purple down as kind of a base for the duochrome, because I watched a couple of those tutorials and such last night, and it looks like this comes up a little bit sheer without like one of the shades as a base. So we're going to see how that goes, and I'm going to start with Royal, and of course I'm going to go in with my brush and some setting spray. You know, I didn't used to do this, and actually I was a huge fan of like using those little applicators for shimmer shades on my lid. But once I started using the setting spray on my brush, girl, I can't go back. It works so amazing, I'm telling you. Alright, so we're just going to kind of swipe that on, see how it goes. Because I know a lot of Huda's shimmer shades, you kind of need to use your finger for them to show up as well, but I want to say that was more of those foiled metallics. So we're going to see how these regular shimmers hold up on my brush with some setting spray. So far, so good though. Is where we are at, and actually the Royal shade turned out to be very similar to the matte shades that I used in my crease to brow bone area. I thought that was interesting. So now we are going to move on and use Twilight, and I'm going to use my finger. I find that usually with duochromes, they do pop a little bit more when you use your finger, and instead of just going in with a dry finger, I'm going to lightly spritz that a bit, and let's see if I really mess this up, huh? Ooh, okay. I ain't mad at it. I don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing, but I'm seeing love right now. So really quickly before we moved on, I didn't even mean to, but I put the duochrome in the middle of my lid, and I just wanted to show you before I, put it all over that side. Like, look how beautiful this halo eye is. I almost wish that I would have done that on this side first and just gone with that, because it is, oh, it's looking so pretty. Now that I got that duochrome all over that lid, I am totally digging this eye look so far. And because I want to go in with some of the other colors, I'm going to smoke out my lower lash line. I'm going to go back in with this shade, Eden. I'm going to go back in with Eden, and I'm going to use some of this orangey color, which is blazing, because girl, it is definitely blazing, and we will go from there. I mean, I'm not sure if it's gonna match my like lid look, but I gotta know. Here it goes. You know, it's not so bad with the Eden kind of as a base down there, so it's not like super bright orange. I really like that actually. Alright, gorgeous. So I went ahead and finished my eye look. As you can see, I also ended up using Amber and Ode to smoke out my lower lash line because I felt like Blazing and Eden were a little bit light for an under eye smoke out. And I also used Celestial. Now this is it's one of the duochromes and I used it on my inner corner and brow bone, but I feel like it's one of the more like subtle duochromes and shimmers that are in this palette. However, I'm really digging it for my inner corner highlight today. And while I do have a Huda Beauty liquid lipstick to finish off this look with, it's a little bit dark. This one is in Famous and it's like a super, super dark red berry. So I'm going to go ahead and use one of my favorite lippies. This is the Kat Von D in Mother. And I'm going to go ahead and throw that on and call her good today, baby. I think we're looking good. Alright, gorgeous. So this is the final look. We went really girly and shimmery up top and kind of bold and neutral on the bottom. Kind of like business in the front, party in the back. Haha. Anyways, I'm really digging it. I like how the eye look turned out and I really like the shadows. Definitely, I didn't see as much kickback as everybody else was saying on their reviews. So I don't know if maybe they got like some like bad palettes or something, but it worked out really well for me. And outside of Angelic being included in the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette as well as the Rose Gold palette, I don't have any complaints. I think they all went on really well. They blended nicely and they all showed up really nicely as well too. So I'm definitely recommending this palette. I think it's really beautiful and it is a tentative new favorite because I still love my rose gold girl, but I'm loving this one too. So let me know down in the comments what you think of this palette and what you think of the eye look. I'm always curious to hear from you, but for now that is it for today. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and go out and spread some love and positivity today, baby. We could all use some extra. You're beautiful and I love you. Mwah. Bye, everyone.